Hello, Robin and Kim here for our Wellness Wednesday health chat. And today we are talking all about emotional wellness because October is Emotional Wellness Month. I feel like maybe we should have started earlier in the month, but we had a lot of things to talk about this month. So
Yes.
we kind of just left it for here. But I'll tell you, first of all, what emotional wellness is. Emotional wellness is the active progress towards stress reduction, self care, and maintaining inner strength.
Mm.
And then also, how does emotional wellness affect our health? And that's like the main reason Kim and I want to talk about this is because it can lead to high levels of stress, um, emotional trauma. It can lead to physical problems like high blood pressure, ulcers, diabetes, and even a weakened immune system.
Yeah.
So it can do a lot of crazy things. So Kim and I are going to give you some tips that maybe we use or things that we have read to help our emotional wellness. So Kim, you want to start out
Sure.
with
Yeah. So
yours?
I will. Thank you. Number one, I would say unplug and unwind. And we are so, myself included, addicted to my screens and it's easy to get sucked into doom scrolling. And I've had to actually be very aware of if I go down that path. And so lately I've just been saying, okay, I want to go in for one thing. I got to look up one thing in my
Yep.
social media or whatever, and then get off because otherwise you get sucked in.
Are you a
Um,
side tracker? I get sidetracked.
I get so distracted. It's
Yeah.
crazy because I go in and I got to look for something. And then all of a sudden I realize, oh my gosh, what did I come in here to look for?
I I know, it's
Like, really?
terrible.
I know. So
Don't
anyway,
do that. Don't do that.
I know. And my daughter-in-law, she puts a timer on her Instagram. I know, and I thought, oh, I need to do that.
That's smart.
I need to figure out how to do it. I'm sure it's easy. So anyway, or set alarms or something. So I get what I need to get done. So anyway, there's that. Getting off your screens and your devices, especially at night. Wear blue blocker glasses at night. That also helps with sleep and stuff. But just reading a book, going outside, I know it's getting colder and it's getting darker earlier, but trying to get as much sunlight during the day. And that helps, or just getting out in nature when you can are huge. If you have a dog, you probably get out there every day to walk your doggy. So that's a good thing. I would say another thing is I love this idea about creating a gratitude jar. So I told Robin, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have Jim and I do it for November and just write something every day what we're grateful for and pop it in the jar, and then we can read them later. And I've heard of other people do that, and it's very much of a mood lifter, and it just puts you in that great mindset of, gosh, I really have something to be thankful for today, and I think that's very uplifting.
On that same line, I know I have a couple Facebook friends that every November they put their gratitude on Facebook. And I kind of like that, like daily, because not only are they doing it for themselves, but then
Mhm.
you get to see it. And then it
Yeah,
might make you feel like and pass it on and feel good
yeah, I
about
like
it
that.
too.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea. I have a friend who's doing that now on Facebook and Instagram. She's doing a 365-day gratitude kind of
Well, that's nice. Yeah.
journal. Yeah. So I think, that is cool because there's so many things we can be grateful for.
Yep.
So just being creative, finding a new hobby, maybe painting or journaling or writing or, um, I don't know, finding something new that you haven't done. And I know some friends who in this age group have like, all of a sudden they're posting what they've been painting for fun and
Oh,
they're really good
oh, that's
artists.
fun.
I
That's
know.
very
Isn't that
neat.
cool? I didn't get
Now,
that.
listen, if I did that, I'd have people in hysterics.
I know. Same. And knitting is another thing, like doing some kind of craft work. And we were flying home from Denver the other night, and I noticed young girl, catty corner sitting in front of me, was just knitting. I mean, that's therapy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. My therapy is gardening, deadheading my flowers and getting rid of weeds and stuff. That to me, that's therapy too.
Yeah.
And then move and not just exercise, but like move, stand, or walk or whatever more than you sit. There's a thing we've talked about before called NEAT. It stands for um,
Exercise.
non
Oh,
non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Yeah, I couldn't think. I was going with an A. So non exercise, activity thermogenesis just means you're moving, you're fidgeting, going up and down the stairs, just doing more than doing more than sitting. And that is a great way just to keep your energy going and feeling good.
Like
And
I'm
then
sitting here nodding my head.
I know,
I'm
right?
just not sitting
Right,
still.
exactly. And the other thing is, the last thing I would just want to say is practicing mindfulness, which I think is important because you just being mindful of what you're doing throughout the day, mindful of, not having background noise on all the time, distracting. I know I'm always listening to podcasts. It seems like when I'm
Yeah.
doing when I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm doing laundry or whatever, something like that. But I feel I now more and more I'm like having a little bit more silent time, which I like, and it just helps me to think and be more mindful about things.
Yeah.
So what would you add,
Yeah.
Robin?
So I would add, for me, it's strengthening social connections.
Mm,
I have my group, like I have a text group that I absolutely love of good friends that, if we're feeling down or distracted or upset about things that are going on around us in the world or, at home
yeah.
or anything, we feel really open to be able to text that person and or that group and say what we get to say. They chime in, and 9 times out of 10, they have the best wisdom and
Mm,
they help you get through it. So,
love that.
um, building relationships with other people. And
Mm,
I'm going to read off of National Institute of Health, and I'm also going to share this in the comments at the end of the podcast because there's a lot of really good tips in here to help people.
mm,
Um, Also on this, it says building that support system, with your children. And I will say,
mm,
I I am so lucky and so grateful that I have my children because I can do that with them. Like
mm,
they became the best adults, my children, to be able to talk to them, and my daughter-in-law as well. Like, being able to express things with her, and we
mm.
agree on a lot of the same things and be able to talk it through. And
Right.
my her mother. So like we all have the same ideals and
Oh,
values, and
yeah.
it's great to be able to do that. Um, if you join a group or something too, go hiking or have a reading group or a hobby. Like if you have a knitting group, or a
Mhm.
painting group, like Kim said,
Yep.
do that. Travel different places and meet new people. I had a girlfriend that just traveled by herself. She went on one of those trips and she made like a handful of new friends. And now she can, talk with them
Yeah.
about different things, and they live across the United States.
Wow.
So I,
Yeah.
I really think building a support system is key with emotional health. As long as it's a positive support system, people
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
don't go with the negativity and people who don't
No.
speak nicely.
And that's
Um,
another thing, avoiding toxic
right.
um, situations or people
Discussion, yeah,
or
or
discussion.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Getting quality sleep. Kim and I have talked about the
Mhm.
sleep thing, and some tips is like going to sleep at the same time every night. We've talked about that. Getting up at the same time every morning. Sleep in a dark and quiet, comfortable environment. Exercise, like Kim said, to make you sleep better.
Yeah.
Limit your electronics before bed.
Mhm.
Relax, take a warm bath, something like that. Avoid alcohol, avoid stimulants like coffee and nicotine or any kind of caffeine. Don't take afternoon naps. Try to get natural sunlight, like Kim said. Um, and then another one, you can do yoga, you can do
Yeah.
meditation. There's a lot of guided, like I just this week started doing because I was like, I need to do something in the morning to stretch. So I'm doing yoga with Adrienne. Kim, you probably know Yoga with Adrienne. She's on YouTube. Have you done
Oh,
yoga with
I
her?
don't think so. I have to look her
Okay.
up.
Yeah, she's really good. They're free.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. She goes through. She has some beginner ones, intermediate. I'll tag that in the comments too. I
Okay.
really like her. I followed her for a long time, and I let her because I teach yoga, but it's different to be able to take yoga.
Yes. I agree.
Because then I can release and don't have to think about it. So I've
Right.
been doing that every morning this week, and I really like how it's making me feel more calm in my body and to be able to attack my day. Meditation, there's guided meditations. I have an app that I use that is called Unplug. And you can
I've
get the
heard of
free
that.
version. You can also pay, I pay $50 a year. It's like really cheap.
Yeah.
And they have great meditations on there. They talk about gratitude and, you put down three things you're grateful for. They give you a thought for the day. And speaking of thought for the day, I told Kim I wanted to read this thought. So, and this is something that I get to practice and need to remind and get to remind myself about. So, I feel like for my emotional wellness, I love this saying: respond, don't react,
Mm,
because I am a reactive person. That's how I roll. That's how I've always rolled. So I get to tell myself, respond instead of reacting. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. The
yeah.
mind that the mind that is easily provoked is a mind that is easily controlled. And when I
Mm,
tell myself that, it kind of helps because I don't like to be controlled. I like to be in control. So when you react in anger, frustration, or fear, you hand over your power to external forces. In moments of stress, conflict, or uncertainty, the difference between reacting and responding is often the difference between regret and wisdom.
mm. That's
Reactive,
good.
reacting is impulsive. It is driven by emotion,
Mhm.
habit, or external pressure. Responding, on the other hand, is intentional. It involves pausing, reflecting, and choosing a course of action that
Yeah.
aligns with your values and long-term goals. As the
Yeah.
Dalai Lama wisely said, do not let the behaviors of others destroy your inner peace. And I'm
Mm,
telling you, I'm going to leave that in the comments as well. I want to post that on my refrigerator because
yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there and a lot
Yep.
of distraction.
Yes.
So, and then the other thing too that I decided I'm going to do is, like, when I let things like people upset my emotional from the outside, usually I'm like, oh, why are they being like that? Why are people so mean? Why is that? Why? I'm just going to say, well, like the South, like they do in the South. Well, bless their heart.
There you
So
go.
I've decided, and then that just kind of like pulls you down, relaxes you when you
Mhm.
say something like that, because it means, you know, you just let it go. Bless their heart, those
Yep.
crazy people, they don't know what they're talking about. So,
Yeah. No, look.
anyway, just a couple little tips there. Anything else you have, Kim, to add to that?
No, I think those are great. And I just feel like our emotional health, we need to protect it and
Yeah.
do the best we can to not be reactive, but responsive. I think that was great what you said. So, but I want to let you guys know too, if you like this episode, and if you've missed other episodes we've done, you can go to our YouTube channel. It's called Health Chat with Robin and Kim. Duh, so you can remember that. And you can always see the past ones we've done because we talk almost every week. We meet almost every week with a new topic that we think is pertinent to whatever's going on right now. So just want to remind
Yep.
you about that. And yeah, anything else, Robin?
We have I think we have like 4 years of content. So there's like, I
Oh,
think close to 200 podcast
yeah.
episodes that we've done. So,
And it's interesting you say that because now when we're doing this live on Facebook, they are deleting everything older than 30 days, all
right.
live videos. So yeah,
So this
FYI.
live will be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
you can go
but you
back and
can
find it. It's not gone
on
forever.
YouTube. Yep.
So
Yep.
on that note, have fun and live young. And we'll see you next week for our pumpkin spice healthy recipes.
Yep. Yum.
Yum. Can't wait.
All right.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.